Hey guys, hope everything's going well. You guys know the drill. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment down below. Follow me on Instagram at AIH_sports. And feel free to message me. I am a little slow to responding, so don't take it the wrong way. Now today, before I get into my topic, I wanted to show you another autograph. I really like this. This is the late, great Chester Bennington of Lincoln Park. There's a COA from Universal, or an employee from Universal, that I believe they did work with Lincoln Park. I got it from a guy in Poland, and there was a show in Poland. And I looked at the signature. It looks like similar signatures that Chester has in the past. I like this picture. I like Lincoln Park. As you can see, this Linkin Park shirt, this is the Hybrid Theory shirt, their first album. And Linkin Park helped me through my high school days, just dealing with stress. And then there's a second album, Meteora. That was also another fantastic album. And it's just messed up that he's no longer around. I just can't believe it. I wish I could have gone to one of his concerts in, I think, Oak Park, Illinois, or Tinley Park, Illinois. But I think something happened with me in 2014. I think my girlfriend came over at that time, and we decided not to go to the concert. So it's just unfortunate that this happened. Regardless, now in regards to the topic today, I want to talk about manipulation of the supply. I want to go back to the 1950s, and there's this Mickey Mantle card, the 1952 card. It's scarce now, but the reason why it's scarce, a user of mine told me about this story, and I'm like, whoa. There's this one individual, Cyberger, and another one of his buddies. They worked for Topps in 1952, and they created the Top set. And the deal was there was not that much interest in some of these cards. I think it was the second set that was created. And they went to toy shows, they went to carnivals. No one wanted them. And they had a business venture, so if I had to take a guess, they bought a lot of the cards on the side, and it was placed in their warehouse. Now, the business venture didn't do so well, and they needed to get rid of these cards because no one wanted them. So what they decided to do, this was insane. They decided to dump all of these cards in the ocean in New York. And because of that, a lot of these cards, like the 52 Mantle and then some Jackie Robinson cards and some other famous players, those cards are no longer around. And there's like thousands and thousands of these. So you see some of these sales for these Mantle cards, like $5 million. Well, the only reason is because the supply was rigged to a certain extent, or was rigged. I wouldn't say there's anything nefarious with that. They just needed to get rid of it because no one wanted the cards. That's crazy. In the 50s, Mantle was a great player, yet no one wanted his cards. Now he's no longer alive, and the card is scarce because a lot of those cards were dumped in the ocean. Price has gone up. Now, in regards today, in regards to the supply, people take care of their cards much better. There's no doubt about that. Now, how could the supply be rigged to a certain extent? Well, I'll just look at this one card here and give an example. Now, this is not a high graded card, but this is just an Aaron Rodgers 2005 Sage card. So, what some people could do now to manipulate the supply is they could just crack this, send it to PSA, and hope to get a 10, or just send it for a crossover service. And if it's a 10, PSA will take the card out and then slab it. And that 9.5 is no longer on that 9.5 is no longer there. And the supply on BGS may say that it's there, but it's not. So, yeah, the supply is definitely in regards to that. But now I'm thinking, could there be some evil actors out there that decide to buy up a whole bunch of supply? Let me give you an example. Suppose this rich guy decides to buy all these PSA 10 Michael Jordan 1984 or 1986 Fleer card of Michael Jordan, PSA 10s. There's about what? A little over 300. Suppose this guy has maybe 50 of them. I'm just throwing a number out. Multi-millionaire. What this guy could do to rig the supply, he could just basically dump them. He could just trash them. He could go on YouTube. No joke. He could start smashing the cards if he wanted to. And then he could say, hey, look, PSA 10 cards of these, PSA says there's a population size of 300. Well, I just smashed 40 of them. So the supply right now is not 300, it's 260. Now, the chances of that is really low, but the supply can easily be rigged in that regard. I gave you this example. People could rig the supply by crossover. Now, people could manipulate the Michael Jordan PSA 10 just by simply doing that. And now, in regards to what could happen for the future, is suppose someone doesn't, smash the cards. What they could do now is if they see a player that is really hot and there's a scarce amount of cards, but they bought up all the supply of it, they could just decide to throw those cards in the garbage just to artificially increase the price of their own card. And there's no rule against this type of manipulation. And I'm just wondering, just maybe if you go not a year from now, but if you look a decade, 2 decades from now, 3 decades, and see what cards someone could definitely rig the supply and throw it away or just hoard it and just send one of these or a few of these cards to PSA, and some of them may come out as a really high grade, and the rest that don't come as a high grade, they don't need to assign a grade to it. They could just keep that card and just put it away. And I'm not sure of what card they may do it to, but if I had to take a look at it, if someone was really shady, they could just take this playoff ticket contender card and they could do it with that. I mean, those cards are really high in value. And if it's a quarterback that's really great and has a few rings or has the potential to win a few rings, the sky's the limit for some of those cards. And I'm just looking at this as, okay, the 1952 Mickey Mantle card, not many people, or those two individuals, Cy Berger and his buddy, they didn't do it on purpose. They just needed to get rid of it. And I'm just wondering, okay, there's some shady actors in this card business. Now, if they really wanted to definitely artificially create a scarcity issue, they could so do that. And I wouldn't be surprised if we hear, maybe not in the next few years, but decades from now, that someone actually did this, that they rigged the supply and they let out the information. And yeah, it's just crazy to think about, but I believe people would be doing that. Regardless, let me know what you think about that, manipulating the supply. How else can people manipulate the supply in this market? Not that I'm saying that I'm in favor of it. I'm not. I'm just trying to think, how could people just rig this game like that? I'm just curious what you have to say. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below, guys. Thanks. Bye.